This we will continue to do. Very soon, we are going to introduce structured training that will offer expertise in diverse areas of law and other related professional services at cost-friendly prices to grow diversity within the legal profession and expand the services and opportunities that are available mostly to the young bar. So one of the possible ways to improve service delivery and create alternative sources of employment is to encourage litigants to opt for alternative dispute resolution methods like settlement through arbitration, mediation, and conciliation. Even in criminal cases, and I can see Judge Kimaru, who has extensive expertise in that area, where plea bargaining and diversion is permissible under the Criminal Procedure Code, parties may be persuaded to settle through these mechanisms. That way you will be able to unlock the disputes at a faster rate and increase your earning capacity. In the 21st century, there is a rapid movement towards globalization. Now boundaries of nations have become insignificant in the profession, trade, and business. In light of these developments, there is a need to tune our Advocates Act and all our enabling legislation with the changes that are taking place across the world. We have begun this process as a law society, and we encourage the young bar to actively participate in the review of our laws and enabling legislation to conform to global international standards. It is also common knowledge that globalization is rapidly transforming every sector of the world's economy, and Kenya is no exception. As globalization increases the flow of people and information across borders, it inevitably leads to an interchange of knowledge traditions. This process has important implications for law and its affiliated institutions and practitioners, and we encourage the young bar to look for opportunities around that area. The young advocate, therefore, must keep pace with emerging trends of globalization, requiring innovative programs for interdisciplinary legal learning, as well as expertise in such areas as competition law, comparative law, intellectual property, corporate governance, human rights, international trade and investments, and alternative dispute resolution. With the advancement of technology, the role of paper-based document is slowly decreasing, and instead, documents are in their electronic form. In view of the amendments made to the Kenya Information and Communications Act and the consequential changes to the Evidence Act, these documents in the electronic form are no doubt admissible in court. However, the genuineness and correctness of these electronic documents require a different kind of examination, and so therefore it is upon the young lawyer to acquaint themselves with these requirements. Further, technology, if well harnessed, gives the young bar the distinct advantage to offer top-notch services and a competitive edge over the old fogey like senior counsel Philip Murgu. This is because adoption of technologies such as artificial intelligence and other cutting-edge technology allows the young bar to be more efficient, to reduce errors, and allows the provision of efficient services and leverage the experience that the old fogey has gained over a number of years. Remember that the best lessons are learned from mistakes. But you do not, with technology, you do not have to repeat these mistakes that the seniors have made and have learned from it and have the experience to pass to you. So therefore, technology helps to reduce or eliminate the chances of making mistakes. The form of money transactions, whether in the daily household activities or in business, is also changing. Payments through mobile transactions and plastic money is now more popular instead of cash. Online transactions are becoming more popular. However, at the same time, cases of fraud and cheating in these transactions are also coming to light. So the handling of this kind of cases requires understanding and knowledge of the technology involved in such transactions. And so therefore, lawyers need to be better equipped with such knowledge. And I dare say that the generation that has the ability to understand this technology, interact with it, and be able to use it are you, the young members of the profession. Recently, we've also seen some interesting cases appearing in our courts for adjudication. Concepts such as surrogate motherhood, internet-related issues are also coming to light. The rights and obligations of biological parents vis-a-vis a surrogate mother and the custody of children in such cases are emerging issues in the present time. Probably something that Chief Justice would never have imagined when she was a young lawyer. But you have a distinct advantage, I keep saying, to be able to interact and deal with these issues, because for some of us, our time has passed, we can't. So therefore, I am confident that the young bar will ensure that the profession becomes a beacon of light for our society and polity, and provide a helping hand to the poor and the needy. So we say to you as a leadership of the Law Society, we understand that times that you're all going through, but there is no alternative to hard work. If you work hard, if you stay on the professional path, you will clearly find success. We just want to give you an assurance that we are committed to working with all of you to find the solutions to the challenges that most of you are facing. We are committed to find a way to have this mentorship program structured in a manner that is sustainable, in a manner that is going to add value to your careers, and that you'll be greater lawyers and also greater citizens of this republic. I just want to ask you that all of us, let us be our brother's keepers, because it is our support system that will either enable us to rise above or to sink. Chief Justice, I want to express on behalf of the Law Society our sincere appreciation for taking up this initiative, for working with us on this program, and we want to give our commitment that we will do everything possible to work with you and your team to support this extremely wonderful and well needed initiative. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, President of the Law Society of Kenya. Just to highlight tidbits, we have to remember the seniors that came before us, Dennis Pratt, Kapila, amongst others. Most importantly, be your brother's keeper. And I must say, what caught me is no one remembers the crowd. Indeed, even in the BBI case, though it gave us an opportunity to see some of your fellow colleagues who showcased their skills. And I remember distinctively Justice Kiage recognizing them individually by their name, not by their firm, not by the people master, but individually. No one remembers the crowd. And so they stood out and they were acknowledged for their preparation and how best they articulated themselves. I will also take this opportunity to mention that our CRJ, Madam Anna Madi, is present, and she will answer any questions with regards to administration of justice during the plenary session. And and I'm sure there'll be quite enough. Before I invite the Honorable Justice Kimaru to address us, I want to say that one thing that I've gotten from some of my mentors is that opportunity knocks on everyone's door. Everyone. The question is, have you equipped yourself with the necessary skills and competence to grab that opportunity when it knocks on your door? Don't let it pass you by. And I also now invite the Honorable Justice Kimaru, Judge of the Court of Appeal, to come and address us. Karibu.
Yes, my lady, Martha Karambu Koome, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court, my brother, Justice Chigiti, Anna Madi, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, the President of the Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Eric Theuri, and the Vice Chair, the Commissioner of Judicial Service Commission, my professor, my teacher, senior counsel, led by Philip Murgor, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. With the advent of the new constitution in the year 2010, the transformation of the judiciary began in their earnest. Our first Chief Justice post-2010 constitution came up with a blueprint to transform the judiciary called the Judiciary Transformation Framework. It was launched in 2012 and it ran up to 2016. Part of it was to look at transforming judiciary as an institution and included bringing technology into the judiciary and expanding our court systems, our courtrooms and our court system, including recruiting more judges and magistrates. When the former Chief Justice Maraga came to office, his blueprint was called Sustaining Judiciary Transformation. And basically, he completed the work that Justice Mutunga came up with, which was to expand the gains that the judiciary got following the promulgation of the Constitution in the year 2010. When my lady came to office, she decided to look outward, not inward. The two documents, the two blueprints of Justice Mutunga and Justice Maraga were inward looking, transforming the judiciary from the inward. Justice Martha Koome, with her blueprint called Sustaining Judiciary Through Access to Justice, she wants to look outside. What is the effect of all these policies that the judiciary have come up with to the outside? How has it affected access to justice? How has it affected the Kenyan as a country? And one of its components is mentorship. And this component came about when we were invited to a function, and we attended when the Chief Justice was just 2 months in office. And it was a church function. And in that church function, we found 300 widows. All of them had one complaint, that they were not able to access the estates of their deceased husbands due to the fact that they were indigent and they did not have someone to represent them. And that's why the idea came about, whereby we said, what can we do as a judiciary? And I wish to thank you, my lady Chief Justice, because in one of the swearing in of the new admission of the new bar, you looked at the young people and you said, what can we do to bridge that gap between what we saw at the church and what we are seeing in front of us here? How can we bring these two groups together so that we are able to have to harness this young talent that is coming into the profession to enable us have these young indigent Kenyans who cannot access justice because they don't have money to instruct counsel, so that we can create a program whereby these young counsel can come and represent them, and in the course of presenting them, they gain the experience. And that is the whole idea of the mentorship program, which the Chief Justice envisions in launching by including the component of young advocates to come and assist us in having these indigent persons represented. In the Chief Justice vision, mentorship comes in 3 components. The first component is mentorship involving the Chief Justice herself interacting with high school students. And I'm happy to say that the Chief Justice has a program whereby first she has invited several schools to come to visit her at the Supreme Court and have a whole day with her. So we have invited several schools, and it is a very successful program. That is the first component. The second component is for the Chief Justice to visit the schools herself. And she has been able to visit several schools in the Republic of Kenya, and I'm happy to say that I've had the privilege to accompany her in some of these schools. And I can tell you that we've seen the impact. It positively impacts the young people to know that we have that bridge between the legal profession as it is now and what they look up in the future. The second component of mentorship is our association with the universities. And that's the second component which the Chief Justice is at the heart of the Chief Justice, so that as the law students are in university, we are able to undertake mentorship with them, and we are able to lead them to the straight and narrow towards bringing up the legal profession, which all of us are proud of. So, my lady Chief Justice, today is not my day. It is your day. And I would like to thank the Law Society for agreeing to join us in this mentorship program. Part of it you'll be told by the Chief Justice. I don't want to steal the thunder from her. But for that person who sent a message on Twitter to the effect that we want jobs and we don't want mentorship, I want to assure you that we are also thinking of that. So that part of that component of mentorship involves giving you a small stipend as you also do this pro bono work to sustain this social transformation under the vision of the Chief Justice. I should get some clap, please. So, thank you, Chief Justice, for having that vision to bridge the gap between the young upcoming lawyers. Thank you, Law Society, for agreeing to partner with us as the judiciary so that we can go hand in hand in bridging this socio-economic challenge that we are facing now, and we enable our young lawyers to ease into the profession, so that by the time they are able to get their footing, they have gained the relevant experience. That's what I always talk about, the relevant experience, not an irrelevant experience. The relevant experience which inculcates in them the spirit of doing legal lawyering with a conscience, lawyering that is socially responsive. And that is what has made the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much for listening to me, and may God bless you. And it is my pleasure to invite my boss to address us. Can you stand up, please? Yes. Can we do some Obama claps?
Thank you so much, my brother Justice Ruka Kimaru. Please, may we be seated? May I start really by thanking all of you for responding to our invitation, a very short notice. And in particular, first of all, I want to stand on the protocol that has been established for the sake of time and recognize all of you in a very, very special way, especially the young advocates. Can I see you by the show of your hands, the young advocates? Thank you. You are our special guests this afternoon. We are here for you, and on your behalf, I want to thank everybody who prepared this program, especially the Senior Counsel, for finding time to be here. These are very, very expensive professionals. I understand they charge per hour, and 1 hour is charged with dollars, and 1 hour is $500. So we can never be able to pay for their time, but they are here because of the love, the commitment, and the concern that they have for the legal profession, and to give back to the society by holding the hand of the young advocate. So thank you very much, Senior Counsel Philip Mulugo, for bringing all the colleagues here to join us. I also want to thank my colleague judges. Justice Kimaru is indeed a champion of mentorship, and he didn't start today. He's always done it for the last 20 years since I knew him. And you see, he has never aged. He's still jolly, vibrant, and always willing to hold the hand of a young one and see them cross from one situation to the other. The Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, thank you very much for coming, especially to answer the hand questions. Or when we recruit these young ones to become adjudicators and also to do the pro bono briefs, because that's where we would like them to start from as they build their skills. Will they be paid? And thank you also, Commissioner Ngutia. She's very committed. She's a representative of the Law Society to the Judicial Service Commission. Judicial Service Commission is a major employer, and I think she'll be answering a few questions. I think they have even advertised for 60 magistrates. And soon also, God willing, we'll be advertising for more, and even judges. So she's a key person, and I thank her. And our registrar also came to encourage us because we are all very, very committed to this program. Thank you, our professor. You were to teach me, but I ran away because I was fearing to fail. So I will still come back for you to teach me, but you're doing a good job looking at everybody here. You're looking happy, you're looking healthy despite the hard economic times. You're even looking very smart, you know, the young lawyers. Yeah, you make us proud. So thank you, those who have spoken before me, for those very profound words of wisdom. I indeed want to associate myself and adopt all those very, very encouraging words spoken to you this afternoon. I think we are all genuine, and that we want a very strong legal profession, because we all appreciate that it is the cornerstone of our society, as the president of the Law Society has said. This is because the legal profession is crucial for our democracy, for the protection of the people's rights, for upholding the rule of law, and for the administration of justice. We have to pursue these objectives because it is essential that we foster a culture of responsibility, a culture of learning. We have to include everybody. In fact, every time I'm admitting those advocates, as I'm looking at the petitions, as I'm calling out the names, I say a silent prayer that God, who has seen these people go through their education and knowing how hard it is. Me, I grew up in the village, so I know how difficult it was even to go up to standard 7, and how difficult it was to go and finish your Form 4, how difficult it was to go and finish your A-levels and pass, go to the university, and go to the Kenya School of Law, and be admitted as an advocate. Then to imagine this person can be jobless, can be hopeless, can have no food on their table. This brings corporate embarrassment to all of us in the profession. And that is why we are all here. Senior Counsel, President of the Law Society, Council of the Law Society, JSC, judges, all of us are here solemnly behind you to say that we will hold your hand. But for us to hold your hand, you have to allow us to do that. Am I talking to somebody? Yes. You have to allow us to do that so that we work together. And when I was coming for this session, because we've been thinking about it with the Vice President, she is also my girl. I have been mentoring her at FINDA. We were with Jackie here, young ones. They mentor me also. It's both ways. They tell me what to do sometimes and what not to do. So it's both ways. Even you are free to always mentor us. I was thinking of just her sitting outside. They call it the CJ's garden. And because now it's a little more tranquil, because we were able to recover that public parking, which was next to it. You remember where they used to wash cars, cook fish, and do all manner of things? We told them to go and do it elsewhere. This is judiciary land. And they asked me, where is the court order? I said, which court order did you bring here to start cooking fish and washing cars? You will go. Yeah, so, but my people, led by my chief of staff, thought that we needed to sit in style, have an sumptuous lunch, and just communicate nicely without having to move our chairs, that the sun is this way, the other way, the other way. So thank you very much also, my chief of staff and your entire team for organizing this beautiful lunch. So what is this mentorship all about? I also do not know where it's going to lead us, but all I know is that it is going to lead us into great things of where we are getting young lawyers join the profession and get adjusted and get disciplined to the work of a lawyer. It is not easy, but it is work that is possible because it all depends on your industry. I practiced for 15 years, I left because of a burnout, because of the kind of work that I was doing, when it reached a point where I just needed to change the scenario for me to remain sane. It was very heavy lifting, from dealing with suing Moi and all that. And I just needed a break. Yes. And the break came in me joining the bench. It was just a different kind of work, also very difficult, also requiring a lot of adjustment and a lot of hard work, a lot of focus, a lot of commitment, and a lot of empathy for the people that we deal with. So for you, I think what you need is just to be very, very deliberate on what you do. And for me, to be deliberate is simple. And I give these examples because I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a daughter. I think those are the things I know most, because those are the things I've done all my life. When I go to cook, if I cook bad food, nobody eats, isn't it? But I've used the ingredients, I've used fuel, I've used my time, and I've cooked bad food, and it has ended up not being eaten. Whatever work I do, be it washing clothes, if I don't wash them properly, then I've wasted soap, I've wasted water, I've wasted everything. It is the same with the work of a lawyer. If a client has given you instructions, it doesn't matter how small those instructions are. It could be just to prepare an affidavit, but make sure that you're deliberate to see to it that you get the proper heading, you get the proper arrangement of that affidavit, you even look at a sample before you write it, and write it clearly and even read it over and over. That affidavit, if you have done it properly, I can assure you that client will come again or send another one, and that will give birth to another matter. Maybe another small claims brief, you never know. That's how we started. We didn't start another way. You started small and incrementally. Those small things you are doing, because you did them thoroughly, you did them well, you did them with your heart, passion, and everything, they gave birth to another one and another one. So that is the biggest advice I would be giving you. Don't underrate anything that comes to you. Don't procrastinate. Do it right away, because you have all the time. You came to work, or wherever you patch yourself to do this work. It could be just a place where you sit. It could be just in the corridors of the court, on your laptop, but do it properly. Make sure you even go sit in the library and do some research. So we know there are very, very many avenues where you can come in. You have heard me talk about the justice needs survey that was done in this country. And it showed that only 10% of Kenyans with justice needs get legal problems solved through the court system. Justice Kimbaro has just shared how we were invited to a church function to facilitate a legal awareness weekend. And we were amazed at about 300 widows turning up to cry, lament how they cannot be able to reach court. Most of them are not even that indigent, because in those estates, there is so much money. There is money in the backyard, there are properties here and there, which means if they were able to get a lawyer to show them the way and open up the banks and open up those properties, even the legal fees will come out of there. So we need to be innovative. Many of us belong to those churches. We belong to the mosque or whatever religious places where we go. There are people there, And we can even offer to have a legal aid clinic on one weekend and really connect with the people. That is the time you showcase yourselves, who you are, and ready to work. And if you don't know how to file a succession matter, we are going to run also a course with the president here, how to file a succession matter. Is there anybody who doesn't know how to file a succession matter? Yes, so this mentorship will now cascade to the level of the kind of skills that you need for you to be able to move forward, so that you can move forward with confidence. As a practicing lawyer myself in the 80s and 90s, I witnessed the power of how the law can transform lives and how the law can shape society we live in. The kind of cases we used to do those days. Senior counsel John Kaminwa used to tell me, Martha, we are going to remove Moi with motions, one motion after another. So we were filing those motions. And I'm here to bear witness that that bore fruits, because we were able to transform many, many things that I'm not going to go into. But today, we are talking about how we can offer our skills to represent the vulnerable, the widows, the mothers, the marginalized. And I really appreciate that the law is not just a set of rules and regulations. It is truly the bedrock of our civilization, our rule of law and democracy, and the compass that guides our quest for justice and equality. And we can harness it to transform the lives of our people, to soothe their pains. There are so many in pain because they really do not even know their rights. And this is why we talk about the social transformation through access to justice, looking outwards. How can we empower our people, our citizenry, to know their rights? Because when you know your rights, at least you know where to go. Advice